Okay, dudes, so we finally got the Freddy patch notes. They look kind of crazy, to be completely honest. We got a couple of updates on top of that to do with just the game itself, and actually, for once, there's some pretty positive updates. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Freddy seems like an actual nightmare now. So yeah, let's break it down. So if we go through it real quick, I'm not gonna like read all of this because it's a lot, dude. But we'll go through like the changes and the new and all of that. So now Freddy can actually mid-game, in-game, swap between dream snares and dream pallets, which is huge. And I think that's something that we've said, you know, since Freddy has the new wore off of the most recent Freddy rework, right? Since the new wore off of that, we've said that like why can't we swap between dream snares and dream pallets? It just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But now you can, which is really good. Dream snares now also move at 12 meters a second with a cooldown of 5 seconds. They can go through walls, upstairs, but not off ledges. Pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. Pretty cool, right? Dream snares also have unique interactions with survivors, whether they are asleep or awake. Sleeping survivors will now be hindered for 4 seconds, while awake survivors will gain 30 seconds on their sleep meter. It's a really good change. That is a really good change. Dream pallets can now be triggered to explode in a geyser of blood. The explosion occurs 1.5 seconds after activation with a 3-meter radius. When a sleeping survivor is hit, they become injured, dude. That's actually nuts, bro. That's really good. One of the main problems for me with like sleep pallets before, dream pallets, whatever, was the fact that not only were they pretty predictable, obviously, for the most part, because, you know, you throw them down like a broken pallet, but there were spots to where you could put them up. But it was also the fact of not only were they predictable if people like experienced players knew the loop, they didn't really do much beyond that, right? Like you just throw them down, there was no hindered status or anything. I do think them doing a health state is kind of crazy, but you know, we'll see how it works. I don't think having a few really good killers in the game is a bad thing, and it seems like it's definitely gonna make him a good killer. The Nightmare can now teleport to completed, blocked, and in-game generators, as well as survivors healing in the dream world, dude. Dream projection on a healing survivor will teleport the Nightmare within 12 meters of their position. Upon completing a teleport, survivors within 8 meters will be revealed with killer instinct and gain 15 seconds to their sleep meter. So really good that we can actually teleport to completed generators and block generators, in-game generators. That was another one like where it was like, why can't we do that, right? Like why couldn't we do that before? It was a little weird. The crazy thing is being able to teleport to a healing survivor if they're in the nightmare, if they're in the dream world, right? That's pretty crazy. It's very similar to Pinhead when they have the box, but like more powerful because all they have to do is be healing. That's kind of crazy, dude. That's kind of crazy. He seems really strong now. The teleport cooldown has been decreased from 45 to 30 seconds, and the teleport can no longer be canceled. Okay, so a little bit of give and take there. Decreasing it in an entire 15 seconds is kind of crazy, but you can also no longer cancel the teleport. That's not the worst give and take. I still feel like it's definitely on the stronger side, but the 15-second decreased cooldown is kind of crazy. In the dream world, healing survivors will be revealed by killer instinct for as long as they're healing, lingering for 3 seconds once they stop, allowing the Nightmare to teleport to them. Dude, so Freddy is just gonna like know where you're at, what you're doing, and what your fart smells like from now on, dude. Holy crap, bro. He seems really nuts. Sleeping survivors can use any alarm clock to wake up. That's a pretty good give and take to all this, right? After using an alarm clock, it goes on cooldown for 45 seconds, during which it cannot be used. That's not really that big of a downfall, right? Not huge downfall. So really good give and take there. Now we have the add-ons. All survivors for red paintbrush iridescent. All survivors start the trial in the dream world. Failed skill checks do not wake up survivors in the dream world. That was a decent one, I guess. The new one reveals the aura of survivors in the dream world when they are farther than 32 meters away. Increases each survivor's sleep meter by 50%. Interesting. I'll be very curious to see how that works, if it'll actually be useful, because 32 meters in Dead by Daylight, well, I mean, with bigger maps, that's actually pretty damn good. It'll be a really good add-on for like bigger maps like Ormond, Area of Crows, maps like that. But on like smaller maps, probably not going to be that useful, in my opinion. Black box, iridescent, the old one, Recently opened exit gates are blocked for 15 seconds. That one was okay. Now for the new one, exit gates are blocked for sleeping survivors for 15 seconds when they're open. A nerf. That kind of sucks. That sucks. And not everything can be a buff, right? Not everything can be a buff. Okay, and now swing chains, very rare. Rusty but sturdy chains used to securely attach a swing set while survivors are in the dream world. The sound of their footsteps are 50% louder. That one was always, I never liked that. I thought it was dumb. New, after using dream projection, block all vaults within 16 meters for 6 seconds. Now that's a buff, brother. That's a buff. That's pretty good. I'm really excited, dude. Before we move on to the rest of the stuff, I think Freddy's gonna be a fucking menace now. And I'm here for it, dude. I feel like there's not enough variation in the killers that we see in matches, like from match to match, because once you get to a certain level, everybody's using like the best killers, and the really like best killers are probably like Wesker, Blight, Nurse, killers like that. So it's nice to get like at least another killer like up there, you know, maybe like not to the point of being as oppressive as Blight and Nurse, but like up there to a point where they can actually compete at a higher level of play. Because even though I think it's a party game, it's still a competitive game, and even the most casual of players still take it serious to some extent. So they're definitely using some of the best perks, best killers, best items, add-ons, whatever. So it'll be nice to be able to play another killer like at a higher level, and I think you'll actually be able to do that with Freddy now. So maybe there'll be a little bit of variation now, hopefully. They've added realm repeat prevention. They already had this, but they updated it. So yeah, it's just an updated version of the system that we already had. Hopefully it'll work a little bit better. We'll see how that goes. Not the most exciting thing. They have had a deep wound update that I have already seen some people complaining about on Twitter. So now we'll have like a darkened effect on our screen, and we'll have like blood splatter. Kind of looks like the jelly from Modern Warfare 2. Or at least we always called it jelly. So that's interesting. A lot of people have been talking about like accessibility issues when it comes to it. I'm colorblind to red for the most part. I say colorblind, but the colors just kind of mix like shades of red and pink and stuff like that. So I have a hard time differentiating the two. So this doesn't really affect that for me. I don't deal with those issues, so I can't really comment on it. You know, maybe they'll having a filter for it for accessibility issues, but then it just kind of becomes a competitive advantage just to turn it off, right? It's hard to like get around that, but I will say Dead by Daylight is a horror game. What do you have in horror games? Usually if they're rated R, that's blood. It makes sense to have blood on your screen when you're bleeding in-game. I will say that though. And now probably outside of Freddy, one of the biggest things about this patch is the free character trials. So now you will be able to try specific characters for free during event periods while in event queues. Note that only select characters will be available, chosen at our discretion, but they will be accessible to everyone. It feels like they're kind of half-assing this. Like, it's a good start, right? It's a good start with all of the killers and survivors and perks and everything else in the game. It's a very good start. I feel like something like if you guys played Killer Instinct from 2013, 14, 15, whenever it was, they had a pretty good free-to-play system going on to where, like, the characters would be on a revolving door of being completely free. I think that should be in the game, maybe with killers and survivor perks. Just have them on a revolving door, and not necessarily like you own them, but like they're on a revolving door. When they're available to use regardless. For killers, you can level up their blood web like permanently when they're on that revolving door being free to play. I just think that makes more sense than the system that they're doing, but it's definitely a good start. I'll give them that. It's a good start. So yeah, I mean, pretty positive update, dude. I'm really excited for Freddy. I'm really excited to see how he's going to play, if he's going to be as strong as I think he is, from what I've read here. The free character trials are definitely a step in the right direction for the game with as many perks and killers as there are. That's really good. And as far as the filter update for Deep Wound, I'm neither here nor there. I think it looks more like a horror game with this filter, but again, people are complaining about accessibility issues, so we'll see where it goes from there. Realm Repeat, we'll see what it does, right? We'll see what it does. But overall, like I said, pretty positive update. I'd like you guys to let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about it. With this patch, it really does seem like it's a step in the right direction for the game. So we'll see what this is. We'll see how this plays, and we'll look forward to Chapter 35 and see what they actually have cooking for the next killer, because I know there's been a lot of talk about killers coming out being very samey here recently, so we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching, dudes. I really appreciate it. I'll see you dudes next time. Peace out.